Wiggity wiggity whack, everybody. Hello and welcome to episode 69-2
Oh yeah, baby.
of the Strip Poker Night at the Inventory podcast. You thought it was episode 70, but no, it's episode 69-2 because, nmasp, our lovely co-host, died last time, and I really just couldn't bear it to not have him on episode 69. So that's what we're going with.
You know, few people ask how you can improve on perfection, and that's why we've decided every episode will be 69 from now on. Much like the beloved TV show and SPNatI fodder. It's not the Hungry Squid Game. Yeah, that's the one. Anyway,
Topical.
Also, yeah, for like last year during the 2 years. Oh fuck. Anyway,
like 2 years ago.
Jesus Christ. All right. So also on the call with us today, speaking of improving on perfection, we have the wonderful Horsecat. So why don't you tell us a little about what you've made for SPNatI, what you're working on, and anything else you want to say? Then we'll dive right in.
This guy's he's been quiet, but he's been around for a while.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Longer than
here
us.
since the times of the Titan Path.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a long time. You kids wouldn't know. But yeah, I've done Twilight, basically all of the MLP characters besides Fluttershy. So Twilight, the Pinkie Pie, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash. And recently I've been doing the Puyo Puyo characters, which are Ringo Ando and Arl. Basically Arl, which is my current work. That's pretty much my main focus right now.
Mm-hmm. And in this recording session, at least, we will have the chance to talk about Arl, and you can say your piece on her. It'll be in episode 71 technically, but we're gonna record it today.
I thought it was 69.2.
Be 69.3, I believe. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we'll give her we'll give her a little extra time. Arl from Puyo Puyo. But yeah, Horsecat, like this guy is legit. Like
I want to say I'm like geeking out right now. Like Twilight Sparkle was like such a great intro to the game way back.
Oh, didn't you help nmasp with Marina?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
I did in specific just one pose.
The butt pose of legend.
I tend to do that. Yeah.
The most important pose.
On the side of doing the characters, I've done a couple of pose works for a couple of characters every now and then.
Very cool.
Mainly bot stuff and stuff.
To give you some context for how legit this guy is, so there are a lot of like unsavory characters that might complain about SPNatI, like, everyone enforces this Kisuke art style. You have to use Kisuke or they get really mad, and it's like it's not actually true. We only use Kisuke because it's like a crutch because we can't draw people. But if you can draw, you're free to do so. Like, you could straight up just like draw all the sprites and it would be accepted as long as it worked. And Horsecat is like an actual artist that can draw characters correctly. And if you play as characters, you can tell because they have actual drawn, like fully drawn custom poses that just blow everyone else out of the water.
And I use that power to just straight up imitate the Kisuke style. Anyways.
And brilliance at play.
And you do a nice job.
As much as I can.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. So,
okay.
Right before we get in, I'm SPNanon, by the way, the main host. I don't think I said that.
I'm
in case you didn't know.
Co-host, yeah.
In case you're starting with episode 69 too.
Which, why wouldn't you? It's the second best one after the original 69.
We're going to get into testing roster and main roster additions today. Briefly, though, I want to go over something that we should have mentioned last time, but we had a lot to catch up on, and a lot to catch up on today, although we should be pretty good after that. And that is, so SPNatI has had a couple homes over the years, a couple mirror sites. There's the main spnati.net website, the official. There were a couple of like weird mirrors of like the offline version for a while. Like there was like SPNatI Party. There was the SPNatI Beach edition, or the swimsuit edition that didn't get off the ground. Now it's just a time capsule, really. It was on GitHub, it was on GitLab, now it's on GitGood. It was on like a bunch of like mirror sites like com.game and the illustrious Wet Pussy Games and various various titled websites of the sort. Lewd gamer, perverted gamer,
Are these like real things that you're talking about now? Or are
sex
you
offender gamer.
okay? Now I know that I know they're legit now.
Wet pussy games is definitely a thing.
I think that might be my favorite. Just super dumb. Anyway,
Hey, it's right to the point, man.
yeah, it does.
If you're looking for wet pussy, that's your place to go. What if it was just like dunking cats in
Cats,
water?
yeah, dude. I love that joke. Never gets old. Anyway,
But yeah, now,
SPNatI is on itch.io.
yeah, which is like, I don't think this was a thing when SPNatI first started. Itch.io.
There's a lot of horror games on itch.io. It's like kind of for like indie releases, which is sort of what we are.
It sort of quietly became a big thing. I feel like a big host site for like
yeah, it's for
all
things that
sorts
other
of like
people,
indie games.
other people that can't get credibility on Steam, more or less.
SPNatI is hitting the big leagues.
We are.
Yeah, I think it was Metally Tar together with Vision who just like kind of had the thought one day like, hey, we should put this on itch.io. There's no reason not to, and to get a little more traffic. And it has for what it's worth. Although I think we confused people because it was like a week before April Fools. So when a lot of the traffic started going up there, they were greeted with like Kool-Aid Man.
Oh man.
But
Kool-Aid Man is the best intro to the game.
yeah, just figured I'd give that a brief mention. That if you want to go check it out, like we have like a page, and I made an account to comment that Maya is best girl on the page. I think it's died down a little bit, but we should check it out every now and then. But other than that, I think it's time to get into the testing characters and main roster and such. If you want to take that away, nmasp.
Absolutely. So first on our agenda today, returning from the void only to fade back into it with all of the chuny energy you could possibly want in a game that already has Megumin in it, is the lovely Fischl, brought back briefly by her awesome team of Vermilia, Horsecat, and
Of course. No, that's not me.
no, Horse Killer. Sorry, I'm so enamored by the whole. Like, what is it like when you put horse in your name? You like are a phenomenal artist. It's like it's like a secret code. It's like saying I'm Saint whatever, and I like cure whatever, and then it's like horse whatever is going to be in that magazine. Anyway, Vermilia and Horse Killer. So it's been really like a long time coming, but she also faded off in the time it took us to put her on the agenda and come back. But I do have it on really close authority that by the time this episode comes back, we might be seeing her just fine. So, Horsecat, what are your brief thoughts on Fischl?
Well, first of all, I'll start by saying that I do not play Genshin Impact, and that's going to be probably a constant
Based.
with all of the characters pretty much besides me, that I barely know the sources for pretty much anyone besides maybe like one or two characters. But yeah, I do not know who she is. I do think she has a really nice design, and I do think that her model that she already had was really, really good. All of the Horse Killer models are really, really good. That said, I don't think I played her too much when she was around, because again, the Genshin girls are all kind of like kind of same-ish for me, if I'm being honest.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe just me not
You're not the only one.
not being familiar with the source, but
Well,
she was nice. She looked nice.
I don't think the personalities are samey, but the art style is kind of samey.
At least it's a good art style to be samey.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
If they have anything, it's good designs.
My thoughts on Fischl are very well known. Vermilia, by the time you listen to this, please grant me mercy and let's get Fischl on the main roster.
Let's get her officially on the main roster.
Yes. Yeah, she's cute. I really like Fischl. She's probably one of my favorite characters. So,
yeah.
Also by Vermilia is another F character. This time it stands for Felix.
Stands for fuck the femboy.
Fucking femboys. All right, Horsecat. Take it away on your Felix thoughts and emotions.
Fuck the feline femboy.
Well, while I have not seen him on his
Felix from I think he's from ReZero, by the way.
yeah, Reseer.
It's the one with the two maid girls that everyone simps for.
Yeah, Felix Argyle.
Mm-hmm. And while I have not seen the series itself, I do believe he showed up in Isekai Quartet at some point or something like that.
Yeah.
I am familiar with the character a little bit because of just general culture. Oh yeah, he's the femboy cat or whatever he's called. I don't know how to denominate him. Yeah.
Yeah, cat femboy.
And curiously enough, he was a guest character once in Puyo Quest. So
really,
yeah. A bunch of random stuff has been doing crossovers with the Puyo stuff, which is weird.
That's actually really interesting. That's really cool.
I played him when he was on the testing roster. I thought he was a really nice character. It's obviously not my thing, but I can appreciate when a character is well-made, and he was a really well-made character and has a special thing waiting for the later parts of the game.
True.
That is also really well done.
Yeah, I mean, like many of the people on this cast, Felix isn't really my thing, but I know Napsu really, really enjoyed him, and I definitely think
you made Adrian. Like, that's pretty damn close.
Well, I mean, I made anyway. Long story short, I think this character really hits a niche that is very popular for the people that are really into it. So I think, this twink is indeed going to be obliterated, which is, I think, wow, that's really interesting. Both of the cat boys in the game are twinks that need to be obliterated. That's, I never thought of it that way, but very cool. Are there
any like lion femboys that are just like Baras?
I don't think that's a femboy at that point, though. I think that's just like a cat boy, right?
Catman.
I guess like someone could do like Lionel from Thundercats.
Oh, that's true.
With the new Isekai stuff, everything is possible now.
It is true. With the Brave New World.
That's something we got to talk about in the future. Probably when I guess the updates are starting to slow down, but maybe next time.
Maybe we could add that to the next episode. Horsecat probably interfaces with that very closely. I know you do as well. I don't know how Kisake works, but that could be good for the next episode. I haven't touched a lot of it yet. Okay, well then.
Oh, I have, and it's scary, but it's also amazing.
Much like many things in SPNatI. So Felix is great. I really look forward to seeing him continue to get targets and grow. Good character.
Oh, he grows all right. You can notice his bulge.
Oh yeah, I know. It's have you guys ever had that problem where you're wearing like tights or something like that, and you do get an erection? It just like is very, very strange feeling compared to like loose boxers. That's always a very odd experience in my perspective. So Remelia, great job for capturing that. Well represented.
I don't wear tights, but I do have that problem even with baggy jeans. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, well, I guess like any tight thing around your genitals, probably if you have expanding genitals.
It's my blessing and my curse.
Indeed. So, speaking of like blessings and curses, how do you feel about Fischl? What do Maya and Jura think about this femboy?
You just said Fischl.
Fischl, sorry, Felix. It's been a long get. It's been
Fischl,
a long.
Fischl the femboy.
Fischl would make a great
happen.
Boy.
What if Fischl was actually a boy?
I would still love Fischl. Fischl can have a penis. I would still love Fischl.
Oh, okay. If you want to talk about like Maya and Jura talking to Fischl, or fuck, I said it now.
Yeah, so fuck you.
Talking to Felix.
Correct. Yeah.
Talking to Felix. It's really weird. Like, they hardly know what men are supposed to be like in the first place. So when you see a man that starts dressing and acting all feminine, they're just like, "What's going on with you?" And Felix starts giving Maya like a whole like gender studies dissertation.
That's amazing.
Maya's still trying to figure out like what the difference between boys and girls is. It's just making her head spin. But probably mentioned that Remelia's been hard at work, and Fischl may have fallen off, but that's because Felix has been taking up her time.
Oh yeah,
because Felix is on the main roster now. He's not just a testing roster character. He has made it to the main roster. since we added him to the agenda.
Yeah, it really does fucking work.
And and I should mention too. The art was done by, I'm not sure how to say it. I don't know if it's Rykar or Richer, but he's another talented artist in this community. He's done a lot of good stuff. And it really shows on Felix. He has a lot of nice like custom stuff. Like, he's got the bulge showing through the tights. He's got a butt pose, which, even on a man, I can appreciate that.
And I think the bulge thing was done before we started getting like the custom penises and stuff, right?
Probably. Oh, look at that! And he's even doing something creative. He's got the profile. He's rubbing his balls in his bulge with his tail. That's good stuff. You always need some kind of like sexy X factor like that.
Some sex factor, if you would.
I'm gonna echo nmasp with my big case of the not gays and say, this really isn't my thing, but I can appreciate the work put into Felix. Although he was hitting on me pretty hard throughout the game, and it's like, damn, dude, it's weird because like he insists that yeah, I'm a man. I'm just like, or I am male. I just happen to like dress all cutesy, and you wanna rail my boy pussy, and he's pretty aggressive about it. And it's just like, damn, dude, like if someone wants you to treat him like a woman that bad, I guess I got to go along with it at some point.
Comment on the YouTube comments if you want to see an Adrian and Felix dual forfeit or a Leon and Felix dual forfeit. I can't guarantee either of those things, but
I want to see a cat fight between them.
I do too. I just who will strive for who wants to bottom harder than the other. We'll see.
Adrian getting the dual everything from everyone.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later too, which is exciting. Secret sauce, heard it here first.
I want to go through a quick other couple of comments I had about Felix. Yeah. Obviously, it's very positive overall. I don't think I have any big criticisms. He's a very well done character. He knows what he wants and what he appeals to, and he's going to make it happen. And if you don't explicitly tag yourself as straight, I think he goes after you too. Which
even then,
more power to you. He does it well. But let's see. But yeah, he very much wants to bottom for you. But he's got good dirty talk. He's got good art. He's very expressive and like mischievous, and like there's a lot of fun things with his body, like his ears go up and down to emote and match his mood. He's got this neat sort of a verbal tick with like adding the nyas, like I'm a nyite,
That certainly makes him stand out, for better or worse.
Weirdly, I didn't find it all that grating to read. I don't know. I thought he did it well enough.
Vermillion is a good writer. Yeah, that helps.
I guess she like knows when to do it and when it might be too much.
It's actually really hard to write verbal ticks, so like I really respect anyone who can do that.
Maybe we'll call this episode 69.
I like that. 69. Oh yeah.
Although that might be a little confusing.
Yeah, that's why you have to do it as episode 69.2.
69 mu.
69.mu. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. The other thing is that, like, despite how aggressive he was with his flirting and how, like, I'm the hotness, I'm super sexy, I'm your femboy. At other times, he was like strangely down to earth and kind of chill. Like he never made it weird, I guess is a good way to say it. Like he didn't go too far. He was always like pretty reasonable and conversational. Otherwise, when he wasn't just trying to flirt, he feels very much like a real person in that way. It's like, yeah, like he's very comfortable with himself. He's not just like doing a shtick. He's just like, yeah, this is how I dress. This is how I flirt. It's just I'm just having a good time. And he's like able to turn it off.
Yeah.
So overall, just the real complete package, and you can even see his complete package. Go play him right now on the main roster.
Indeed. Next, we have the wonderful, heroic, magical girl. Don't look behind the curtain. That's just what she is, and if you tell her otherwise, she will kick your ass. Queenie from the Lobotomy Corporation, which I am not quite sure what it actually is, but every character that people seem to post from it looks really cool. So I think, Insidiouani is both the writer and artist. I think she looks really cute. But Horsecat, guess first. What do you think?
Is this the first character that Insidiouani has made?
No, it's the first one Insidiouani's made, yeah. And I think
She's
Zuja
been
did
around.
the Bina, the other lobotomy corp. Yeah, I know. Like she was getting for a really long time.
Yeah, again, another character that I have zero clue where she's from, but I think
That's the norm.
very few people know what this is. From the few little bits of artwork I get when, like, official artwork I can see from the game when I put it on Google, she looks pretty accurate, even with the big old eyes that she has. She I do want to mention that she does have this thing where when she joins, you put it in the table. She does like this little animation, but she keeps repeating it every single time if you add someone else or if you change the costume on someone, which can be a little bit distracting. I don't really know what her stick is. Like, I can know that she's like a magical girl, but I think I read somewhere on her development channel that she's supposed to have like this other side of her that I'm not sure if I've actually seen in the game. I don't know if it's just me not having good luck with the characters I've paired her with, but I just see a magical girl doing her thing.
There's a lot of like weird lore to her that I read. The dev posted a write up for her. I think the idea basically is that she's kind of like convinced herself that she's a magical girl and like out to defeat like evildoers. But like the city that she used to protect got like razed to the ground, and like she and all her sisters went insane. So she's kind of the villain. She's kind of like an SCP. And if there are no evildoers that she perceives, she will make them up in her mind and start calling other people, like normal people, evildoers. She just needs like someone to fight.
Basically,
She's convinced herself that she's a magical girl.
Yeah, well, I guess I just have not had good luck with the characters I played with her, because that sounds really interesting, but I've not actually seen it in game yet.
Yeah, she's a little unhinged. That's why she's got the big old eyes. She's a little crazy. She got some screws loose.
So, Horsecat, any other thoughts on that? Any feedback you'd give to the writer?
Well, I guess that should work itself out when she targets people. Again, I probably just didn't have the good luck with it. Or have any of you actually gotten her to make someone else on the table be the opponent, like she needs to defeat or something like that?
So it's based on like the villain tag, which is a pretty simple way to do it. But it also means like not many characters actually have that, which makes it somewhat difficult to actually like trigger some of those interactions.
How many do we have?
I'm gonna look at that right now. Give me a second.
I think it's baked pretty well into her dialogue itself. If you
That's
look
true.
closely,
We only have like 10 villains.
I don't think it's something that you need to. That you can only see with specific characters. She alludes to it plenty. As long, I guess I had the benefit of the context because I read the write up.
Like the worst thing I ever saw her was kind of like during one strip situation, she got like kind of jealous that she wasn't being the spotlight. That was kind of like the worst she ever got on the tables I played her with.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I didn't know any better, she would just be, oh, it's a magical girl with absolutely nothing weird going on back there.
This was a point of praise that I actually had for her, because if she did go absolutely nuts at the slightest provocation, it would kind of be a damper on the game. You'd be like, why is she trying to murder everyone? I think he's done a pretty good job of like threading the needle here of like she feels a little unhinged without feeling like she's an imminent danger to everyone else at the table. Like she could crack, but she seems to be like she always seems to have an excuse for why she's relatively placated for the moment and is functioning well enough.
Yeah.
It's very easy to take that too far, and I think he's done it in a way that allows her to more easily fit at a table and not make it weird.
I would agree with that, and I actually have like a lot of kind of feedback in that vein. Is I think like what she has is really good, and I think like she does literally have lines for villains in every single case. Like every single case, there's a subset of lines for villain characters, and they're all really good. I also think like as like if she gets a big lead early on, her comments are really like more snarky and passive aggressive, which is interesting. And I think on the whole, like she's well written. I think the character flavor stuff, and some of the more like she is. I think like she either needs to nominate someone as a villain if there are no villains, and just like treat them as if they had the tag. I don't know how to do that. But otherwise, like I think she's really good. I think she's a really good character with a really strong base. I think the fact that like her art is really pretty, like she's a very attractive character, and given that I'm the person who's like, oh yeah, there, look at this crazy, I would stick my dick in that. Like that's definitely scratching the itch for me, which is good. I think what I would like to see from her, generally speaking, is her generics are really strong. I think those can stay. And to Spanon's point, she threads the needle and doesn't come across like a crazy person, just a little bit crazy. I really think she needs a lot more targeted dialogue or filters or something to kind of engage more deeply with this side of herself that is at risk of not coming through as much because it's really good. I just think like when she goes up for sponsorship, I think she is up for sponsorship, right? Maybe I should write a sponsorship post. Yeah. She just needs to go real. Oh, she's on the testing roster. She's not for sponsorship at the time of this recording.
Yeah, she's not yet.
Yeah. I think she should just go absolutely ham on tags or targets because I think that's sort of the gap that she's missing.
Sorry, I was going to say that she has a lot of potential, and now I want to play her with a villain character.
Yeah, I think
Did you find how many characters have that tag?
10. It's the two grunts, Queenie, Turandot, Jury, Chara, Spooky, Ramilia, not the author, the character, Guzma Balls, and Croy. So it's like, of those characters, I think the grunts get actively developed. Chara is going to see really active play, and the others are a little bit in various states of, they're all in good shape, but they're not really getting updates anymore, or not frequent updates. So I would almost say, like, if there's other magical girls at the table, treat them like the villain. Like, the town's not big enough for the both of us is probably the right angle to take, given who Queenie is.
Go full Monica on them.
Yeah, I mean, she's... But then also, like, I don't know, like, who does she hit on?
That's a magical girl.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I'm just doing this to self-aggrandize myself. But I think...
Yuko's a magical girl.
Mm-hmm. More forfeit lines would be good. And just like, this is kind of advice I have for most people, is kind of like, your character should not, like, Spanon's going to disagree with me on this, so I'm going to preface with that. I think every character needs to have like at least 1 to 3 characters that they're very attracted to just in character, because it helps you set up some goodwill with other authors, A, and B, it also kind of lets you explore that dynamic in a way that makes sense for your character. And once you've done that, you can really expand that to be either player-directed lines in the same vein, like, what would a player who picks this character want to get out of them if they were attracted to them? And, you don't have to be attracted to every character, but I think if you're picking a character other than for kind of shits and giggles, you should want the player is probably attracted to them in some way, and you should appeal to that. So I don't know.
Why would I disagree with that?
Because you're like kind of anti-shipping in ways. So I think like that's sort of the angle that I was not proposing per se, but I think getting some of those interactions is helpful.
I'm not into it as much as you are.
Right.
It was kind of my introduction to SPNatI because you kind of railroaded me into shipping, say, and Maya.
And here you are today.
It's a product of its time. God, that epilogue with that is still.
I'm so sorry.
I have zero. It's going to be 2 models behind pretty soon.
Yeah, I have no interest in revisiting that. So go harass Mike, who's ostensibly the owner of that.
Probably just take it off.
Yeah, that seems fine to me.
It had its time.
It
It had
did.
its time.
Anyway,
but
what do you think about Queenie as a whole on that note?
I don't think there's anything wrong with like being like developing an attraction for other characters specifically in targeted lines. I just think it's something you shouldn't try to force. I think you should just try to feel it out with targets, sort of like improv, and then see if it happens naturally. You know, like in real life.
Sure. I mean, it also could just be what you as an author like writing. I guess that's also a thing.
It just takes it takes a pretty special case to have like really deep attraction in such a limited social environment. I could see there are a lot of characters.
They don't have to fall in love, but they have to want to bang each other. Like,
there are a lot of characters for whom my girls have expressed like mild attraction. Yeah, like I'm kind of into you in the brief time that I know you, that I've known you. But it's nothing crazy. It's just because both naked and soon masturbating.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to start thinking about engagement rings.
True.
It is very useful to think about like what is my character's type.
Right. Or like what makes the character like. Yeah.
And your understanding of that can evolve over time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I just recently last time I mentioned, I kind of came to the realization it was like, Jura's probably into like the serious no nonsense types because that's who she hangs out with and bangs. But yeah, as far I gave a lot of my main praise for Queenie about threading the needle before. A couple other things. It's kind of easy to miss, but she has custom hands.
Yeah,
with only three fingers.
4 fingers.
Oh,
well,
4
3
fingers.
plus thumb.
Yeah, which is something like half the time I don't notice it, and then half the time, like when it looks a little awkward or JPEG'd or artifacted, then you really notice it.
It's one of those things that once you notice, you can't unnotice.
Yeah, like sometimes it looks fine, and other times it looks really weird.
But it works.
I don't know if there's an explanation for that, other than that she's just an SCP.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
She's a cartoonish looking character, so they have 4 fingers work.
I've never thought of that, but
is that just an art style thing, or do other characters in the? I don't think Bina has.
No,
4 fingers.
But I think she's the only character with 4 fingers.
Because she's supposed to be a cartoon.
No one's ever cursed us with Homer Simpson yet, so
shut up! Don't. It's gonna no. It's April Fool's just happened. Don't do this. Not now. No.
Well, technically, someone has cursed us with Homer Simpson and Kisake. He just didn't make it into the main game.
God. Anyway, someone's gonna write Lois from Family Guy, and I'm just gonna write like a billion lines to one of my characters, and I'm gonna be like, why? Can you imagine like writing like Maya and Lois lines? Or like Twilight and Lois lines to subject Horsecat to this misery as well.
Jokes on you. I don't think I've ever answered to any April Fool's characters.
I think Maya would just wonder.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's.
I think she'd just be curious as to what Rhode Island is.
You're saying it's an island, but how would it have a road? Anyway.
It's never really established how big Majera is or what the population is, so I wonder if it's like bigger than Rhode Island.
It can be whatever the fuck you want, basically.
Yeah, but I want to go off something. Yeah, a couple other things. Queenie has some fun animations in her stripping and things that are pretty smooth. Although I do think how she there's a looping animation during her forfeit where she's constantly bobbing up and down on her floating wand/broom.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
That can get a little distracting.
It's good though.
It's good, but I just don't like permanently looping animations. I just think they should loop a couple times and then stop so you can read.
Okay, that's fair.
But on the whole, I was very pleasantly surprised. It can feel like a real dice roll when you get someone's first ever character, but there was a lot of passion put into this character. Even though she's kind of like weird and I guess kind of obscure. I don't know. I couldn't find any gifs of her on Tenor, so that's not a great start in terms of star power. That's on the same tier as Maya before I added like 24 gifs myself.
You literally, yeah.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Okay. So,
Always.
anything else on Fischl, or is it curtain call?
You just said Fischl a third time.
It's all official. It's all official to me. Sorry.
Well, I'll use this brief intermission to take a look at some of the itch.io comments that we got. Let's see. Will you add trans options? Read the FAQ. Next time you're adding characters, can you add Naruto girls? That's
Sure.
the comment. Yeah,
Sure.
it's all one guy. The next time
dude.
we're adding characters,
It's
the
him,
one
Mr.
guy that works on this
Well,
game.
it's him, Spnanon. The
Mr.
anon
SPNatI.
Mr. SPNatI. It's him, John SPNatI.
Let's see. I want Rimuru characters, the Helltaker characters, and Aqua from Konosuba. And then he wrote something in what I think is Thai or maybe Vietnamese. Well, I guess it's time to move on.
Go ahead and lower the curtain on that act of Queenie and raise the curtain on Magical Sempai.
Oh yeah,
Senpai.
we've just covered like 2 actual magic users, and now we have like a wannabe street magician.
I feel like she'd get along with Joey. Yeah, the 70th alt account is the artist and writer. It's also like it blows my whole ass up to see people come out with these like really great models. Like I think she's really good just for like someone's first Kisuke model. There's some custom art, there's some tailoring in it. But Horsecat.
No, I think he made. This isn't his first project. I think he
Really?
made Miriam,
Really?
or was that Yotacon?
That was Yotacon. No. 70th alt. Oh no, he made Miriam and Callisto.
Wait,
yeah,
is
he
that
made
the same
Miriam.
guy? Did he change his name?
I think it used to be Yotacon. That's what I was. Yeah. He used to be Yotacon. Now he's the 70th alt
It's
account.
confusing. Don't change your name.
I am the artist formerly known as nmasp.
Looking at you, Dranky. Mysterious D. Air quotes.
Hey, I changed it so people would stop associating it with my Smash Bros. Community plays, and then I changed it to nmasp.
Yes, it's the same guy.
Yeah, same guy.
Yotacon. So he made Miriam Scuttlebutt. That is her real name. Who's on the main roster, and he also made Callisto way back when.
Way
Ace
back.
Attorney. But yeah, this is Magical Senpai.
Yeah, Horsecat. What do you think about Senpai?
I like Magical Senpai.
I think that's also the name of her source, right? Magical Senpai.
Yeah, Magical
It
Senpai.
is indeed. Another source I have never seen, but I really like her. She does not seem to be having many targets as of right now. Her line count's a little bit low, but she's on the testing roster. She can do with more later. And the few stuff that we have, it's pretty good. She's funny, like doing the her thing of, oh, look at me doing magic, and it's not really doing anything, and her magic is just giving herself foot burn because she's just taking her socks out of her shoes and stuff like that. And she's also a cheater that has the extra cards falling out of her hands that it fills every stage after
I think her AI gets worse over time, right?
I don't know if it does, but I wouldn't be surprised if she does.
Look at her metadata. Yeah, her AI starts as average. It goes up to good, then it goes back down to average. But there might be some adjustments in dialogue.
And even with the cheating thing, I don't think she goes like in unfair advantages. She still is usually one of the first ones to go out for some reason on my games. So she doesn't feel unfair, even if she's cheating or not. But I really like her. That's a pretty good base over there, and the character is all right for what we have. She looks really close to her source. It could do a little bit of touch-ups now that we can do more custom stuff with the face, but what we have is pretty good, really good. I like her.
Great. Is Magical Senpai a hentai or like ecchi?
No, I don't think so. I think it's
like,
just like a gag anime.
Her dialogue implies that she's like flashed people during her performances, which feels on genre for both of those things. But
it's probably just anime being anime.
I think the idea with her is that, okay, like I also read the write-up, and basically she's just like this weirdo cool girl who's like obsessed with magic and trying to be like a performer, but she's like super desperate and bad at it.
Yeah,
So
that's
she'll
true.
just like do anything to get people's attention, flash her panties, because all of her tricks go wrong all the time.
Oh,
And she's like roped some guy into being her assistant, and he hates her and he hates magic, but he just puts up with her, I guess, because she has fat tits,
you know, who among us hasn't?
and also because she's a senpai, hence the name.
To be fair,
Uh,
it's a pretty nice pair.
Who among us has not gone along with some stupid shit a girl was doing because she had fat tits?
Well, not me personally, but you know, I think we've all done things for our own individual needs and wants, as we do, as the British say, needs must. Um, yeah, I think for me, it's kind of what Horsecat was insinuating. I think she could just use a little bit more dialogue. I think personality is solid. I think the way she talks and what she approaches is really interesting. I think Yataghan picks like hostile weirdos, where Dorian picks like obscure niches, and I think this is a good niche to be an author in, which is very cool. I think like most of
He's
the
got
time,
a type.
he got a type, and it's good.
He's got a
And I
type
think,
of like schoolgirls who are just like creepy weirdos.
yeah, and to be fair, the world needs that.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
creepy weird like, schoolgirls girls who are like creepy weirdos and like get in your face and have like some obsession about something and are big assholes about it. But I'll let you talk.
Yeah. I think like she also does like a bondage forfeit, which is like normally pretty stupid, but it's done super well and in character, and I really appreciate that. I think she reacts to a lot of really funny things, which is cool. Like she reacts to a lot of Bobobo stuff. She reacts to a lot of Mari Sotogaya. The one thing I do think that's like my one critique is she just sort of needs to target more people or have more dialogue, which is not like a super informative thing. That's like just saying like just like it's like I want to run faster. We'll just run faster, forehead. Like it's not shit like that, right? I do kind of think that it's interesting that she is a shaved character when she's ostensibly a Japanese schoolgirl. That to me feels off-brand, but she also comments on it and has like a lot of lines that sort of post facto justify it. So I guess like there's a joke she makes about like insertion tricks, and I think that was pretty good. I think that was nice. Would love to see her target Joey. I think because Joey's also sort of like a clown and a magician. I think there's something to be said about like the two of them really hitting it off over like not being actually magical. Maybe to target Twisted Fate too. I think she'd probably be super thirsty for him. That's kind of what I got. What about you?
I feel like she'd just be jealous of Joey because Joey pulls off her tricks better.
I think that's really funny. Oh man, Magical Senpai, keep butt monkeying for the cast. It's good stuff.
I think first of all, is this character responsible for like half the people saying senpai instead of senpai, which is the actual word?
I mean, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say senpai.
I had to look it up because I was confused, but like senpai with an M, that's the way she's spelled.
What? That's so
I don't think that's an actual word. Because you don't end syllables with an M in Japanese. Sometimes people spell it that way because like N and M are kind of similar or used kind of similarly. But like senpai with an N is the actual word, and that's the word that it is supposed to be.
Yeah, because like senpai
it's not like her name.
Right, it's like a statement. Also, I don't know if she ever talks about her actual name because like I can't imagine like any of my characters.
It's weird. It's weird because everyone calls her senpai.
Yeah.
As if she is their senpai.
Well, senpai. Like that's
they don't go to school.
Is there lore there? Maybe that's her actual name?
Well, this would be a good thing for the author to explain.
No, I don't
that's
think
why it's written with an M instead of an N?
That's what I thought, but no. I think it is supposed to be just she's the guy's senpai. Her assistant senpai.
Why did you name your child Upperclassma? Well, because people would get confused if it was upperclassman, so I just did Upperclassma.
In 18 years, it'll make sense.
It'll be a really funny joke for some weebs.
So
Anyway.
yeah, that's just confusing. I mean, and there's all sorts of people that are only like anime adjacent, and they just think the word is senpai. Understandably. when this girl is out spreading misinformation. Me when I spread misinformation online as part of my magic trick.
Who would do that? Go on the internet and tell lies.
Well,
But
okay.
aside from that controversy, I think she's a really neat choice because cards, magic tricks. There's a
I think she's an incredibly genre appropriate
masp-
choice.
Masp was hit by an EMP.
Meow. Anyway, go ahead.
The
Sorry,
government's
Spnanon.
trying to silence.
Once again, it's me versus the federal government, and once again, it's time to vote for Ron Paul. Cool.
Yeah, but because of her card's motif, the hell is that from Horsecat?
What?
It shouldn't be. I'm also hearing it.
What
Is
is
there a
it?
rattlesnake?
I'm in Texas. It doesn't mean there's a rattlesnake. Go ahead.
Okay. She's good luck with this solitaire. Yeah, she's got the cards motif. She has a lot of poses with cards. You slowly see how many she's palming and hiding. So that's fun, and just she makes a lot of good conversation for someone who's like it can get a little tiresome sometimes when a character basically has only one thing that they're interested in. In her case, like magic and magic acts. But I think she took it pretty far with her limited amount of lines. She gave a lot of she made a lot of fun conversation and kept giving advice to people, which sometimes might have been misguided advice, but it's advice on how to be more of a how to exude more showmanship in your stripping and things like that. And she kept coming up with new things a lot of the time, and that made it interesting to read.
I hadn't thought of that, but I think that's really good.
So I liked that overall. She had fun scheming poses and expressions. She got really weird with the cards and started to anthropomorphize them and kind of humanize them and give them all little personalities. They're helping her or they're her pets. Yeah, but I was pleasantly surprised. I shouldn't have been, because it's not like this is Yotacon's first effort.
I mean, the name change fooled me.
I don't know. I guess I just wasn't expecting much from a character that kind of only has the one shtick, because I tend to find them one note as they're supposed to be, and it doesn't really excite me as much. But I think she had some interesting stuff to her. She even had fun custom poses with, and I think she should go even further with the custom stuff, the stripping, because that's her whole big magic act. She did have a lot of there's a lot of neat ideas there that I think if you just polish them a little bit more, like the whole she buddy thing where she ties herself up and says, "I'm going to untie myself before the vibrator makes me come." And I guess she probably would do that, right, to get attention. And it's a fun way of baking it into the character.
She's a showman. Make her give a show. I really like her. It's a really good addition, I think. Fits really well.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's just it's neat and unique, but it fits relatively well. You're putting on a show for everyone else. But the one other thing I wanted to say was kind of related to Yotacon's type. He likes schoolgirls that kind of make asses of themselves, and that's it's sort of weird. It's sort of a weird presence on a table, because it's something that technically you don't have to react to it, just a character making a complete ass of themselves. But most generic lines will probably be very positive and flirty, which is kind of funny to read. Everyone just being super positive and happy with her when she's very panickedly revealing that she's a cheater and trying to salvage her act, and it's sweating and having a nervous breakdown and just completely falling apart. And everyone's just yep, smile and wave. You're doing just fine, girl.
I actually started targeting that manually with Darl now. It's just she's not going to be doing that, but yeah, it is funny to see everyone just reacting just fine. Oh, I'm cheating! Yay!
Your clothing name?
Yay, what's coming up next? Just your clothes.
Just your wow name. Your clothing?
just your dozen sleeve aces. just your hidden switchblade.
Wow. I missed the frilly guns emoji. That was a good flash in the pan.
That's a deep cut.
Anyway, So
Any other thoughts on Magical Senpai?
keep it rolling. I think like unlike I didn't know Yataka and 70th alt account were the same person, so that's on me. But I think like Miriam has the potential to just be like a weird gremlin alt game. I think there's something to like something more interfaceable with Senpai as a character. So I think like it's a good chance to kind of branch out and get some of these good interactions going with her. Anyway, okay, so up next we have, switching the spotlight to a bright solar flare. We have Solar Flare, which is anthropomorphized from Plants vs. Zombies by Carbol, with art by Mymans and Ninja Monkey. I'll let you go first, Horsecat. It's an anthropomorphized something else, so I think this character might be a little bit up your alley.
It is a plant with tits. Another very cartoonish character. I've played a lot of Plants vs. Zombies back then, but I have never heard of Plants vs. Zombies heroes. So, another character that I really like is her design is kinda out there, but I mean most of my characters have out there designs with like weird color skins and stuff like that, so I don't mind that. She's pretty cute. She talks a lot about the plants and zombies stuff. I think she, if I remember correctly, she acted about it like a little meta, like she knows that she's in like a video game or something. But not in SPNatI, but in that Plants vs Zombies Heroes is like a video game or stuff. If I remember correctly,
Is this an official design?
If I remember correctly, I saw the artist mention that
so.
He based it off fan art.
Yeah, it's this is the original for her, and then there's some cute fan art. It's based on this fan art. I'm gonna download it because it's fucking enormous.
But yeah, she talks about her source, and she kind of has like a thing like Twilight, where she's not used to having like humanoid body. So she doesn't really mind the nudity that much. But unlike her, she doesn't just go straight for the kill. She has a more normal stripping order.
Right.
She reminded me a lot of Twilight in that way. That she doesn't really understand like clothes or human bodies. That was sort of the big unique thing about Twilight back in the day.
She's got competition now. But yeah, I like her.
They should target each other.
I'm planning to do that later.
Aren't these meat bags fucking weird?
Yeah, they'll relate. Look at our weird bodies.
Yeah,
we're weird.
Wow, I'd never actually thought about that. That's super interesting. Like as character concepts, like how you can have that interaction. That's nice.
You
like wow, you
just have a single spine. Why don't you have cellulose all over?
Human bodies are fucking weird. Yeah, I know, right? Like that's great shit. That's some king shit right there.
Yeah, I'll probably make a space between the all stuff, and I'll actually get to that because that has a lot of potential, and I kind of really want to get into that. Sounds like there could be some really interesting stuff over there.
You mean you gotta move around to eat?
Nice. Yeah. What else do you think about her? Like, what do you like about the art? Like character? Sounds like you're really positive for her right now. And as a reminder, she did fall. By the time of this recording, she had fallen off of testing because Carbol got busy. But anyway,
I think we can have faith that she'll be back one day.
I really hope she does.
I really hope she does. Yeah, I like her, and I see a lot of potential in her. I honestly thought she was kinda ready if she wanted to go for main tables. Like, of course, she could use with a little bit more lines every now and then. She did have a little bit of repetition.
I think she got posted and immediately went up for sponsorship. Which is funny.
Oh yeah. I remember that. She did like the same day that she went up, I think, or like a day after. So I honestly thought that she would have been main tables by now. She's pretty good. I like the art style. I like her stick. She does her stick well. reminds me a lot of my own character, which is good for me. I like her. I want to see more of her.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, I think I really like Solar Flare quite a bit. I'm really excited to see her get more TLC. Like, I think the day she came out, I like targeted the shit out of her with Leon because like hot tomboy, anti-zombie person, perfect, done, call it a day. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any notes for this. I just really want to see more dialogue, and like Carble's a great writer, so I just want to see more of his stuff all the time. Like, really good, really good start. That's all I got. Over to you, Spawn. I think she's just phenomenally good. I'm really excited for her.
To let you know that I'm not completely jaded, there was briefly the smallest part of me that was introduced to this character, and it was like, really? People sexualized an anthro sunflower from Plants vs. Zombies? Really? Like that? There's just for a split
I'm proud
second.
of you for keeping that integrity, because that's just, yeah. Anyway,
just for a fucking second, I had the thought that like, wow, that's someone actually did that, and not just, of course, someone did that.
What's next? They're going to start doing the same with ponies now.
Ponies and I don't think anything's gonna top Battle for Dream Island. Fucking magnifying glasses and triangles.
That was a whole different thing, and you know it.
That's like fucking fapping to Towley from South Park.
I bet someone has, which is the worst part.
Someone out there has done it.
You can come all over him, and there's no cleanup.
I dislike this.
I'm hoping that the Carbowl wasn't looking for too much feedback on this cast, because I was kind of waiting to get really in depth or when she did return, and because it's not like, I don't think it was like he didn't know what to do with her. It was more just he got busy in real life. Because most of my feedback right now was just more of the same. I mean, funky, fun tomboy with a unique gimmick of being in a human body that she really doesn't understand, but she's here for it and she's having a good time. Like, that's a solid enough foundation on its own, and there's plenty to talk about. That's like Twilight taken to the extreme, because at least Twilight is a mammal.
Right.
I
At
agree.
least she's part of the animal kingdom. This is just on a whole nother level. I mean, a sunflower. But yeah.
Who would have thought?
I'm just, all I can say at this point is just, cute, need tomboy, just anxiously awaiting her return. And when he's ready to rededicate himself, we'll be here to give more detailed thoughts.
Same.
She's just super cute.
Yeah,
I'll
A+.
be waiting for her. Really good.
Good character concept. Just keep
well
going
executed.
with it.
Just
You can.
finish the fight. It's good shit.
She is the light in my life.
Speaking of finishing the fight, long ago,
2B's ass.
Yes, long ago in a
Finishing all over 2B's ass.
Long ago in a distant time of SPNatI.
Oh yeah, this must be personally meaningful to you.
I'm really happy that this happened. A young author once created 9S for the game, and it wasn't good, but it was the most popular male character at the time. And then I met Zeus, who is actually a man who loves men, and he took over 9S's art, and it's the game is better for it. Good job, Zeus. A+, 10 out of 10. Also,
you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about.
Like, he also just went back and like fixed all the fuckery with it, which is great. Like, it's like all my bullshit lines, I was just like, I just really want this to get out there. He just went through and fixed it. It's good shit. Like, A+.
I know it was a product of its time, but this old 9S model, legit,
This is so good.
he legit looks like he's 9.
Yeah, I know.
That was the style.
Like, what an improvement. A+. No notes. Just flat out. Like, my section here is going to be short. I did 9S really quickly, and I honestly just think, like, hot damn, way to kick ass, Zeus. Way to kick ass. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was there when he originally came eons ago.
I was there. I was
there when he arrived, and indeed,
So was I.
the mails we had were just saying Bazinga and stuff. So our standards weren't really that high. Was Pete by then? I don't remember if Pete was by then. Was on the roster by then.
They were around the same time. It was
Who was?
spring 2018.
Who else?
But yeah, I
The
remember
the
back
first
then.
time men were not jokes.
I remember
Yeah.
back then it was between him and Pete, and those were the only two decent
Oh
males.
yeah.
So, but yeah, the glow up is visible. It's amazing how much the model changed, and how much the dialogue has improved as well. He has a bunch more lines now. You
Oh my god.
He went from having no nipples and no cum and
Now he has no nipples and cum.
looking like a little kid, which was a little bit weird to looking like a man. He finally grew
There's
into
a
a
dark
man.
time in every man's life where he has no nipples and no cum and no 2B.
Yeah.
And the mold, I wouldn't believe it was Kisekai if you told me. Like maybe besides the knees, but it's an amazing model, honestly. And really, really good. And the stuff that I played with him, yeah, it's a heck of an improvement all around.
You can tell Zeus really cared about this because he went through hell and back and had a whole bunch of horror stories about sifting through all of his old content and having to manually reassign all of his poses because he didn't properly match them to the old pose names.
Like this was like a work of love. Like Zeus, 10 out of 10, man. Seriously, way to kick ass.
Indeed.
Don't feel bad that I keep mentioning 2B. I just think it's eternally hilarious.
I mean, I think it's really
9S
funny.
first he got added years ago, and then this outpouring of love.
He got rebooted before 2B ever came out. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So funny. Like as the guy who originally did a lot of 9S stuff. I am not exempt from criticism, and I think it's just absolutely glow up. It's it's literally you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Except in this case, it's I was peacefully walking down the street, and then Zeus just fucking runs me over with a monster truck. It's super good. 100 out of 100. Good stuff.
And 9S wasn't bad for his time, but just he just
age
kept
well, and I
he just kept sinking further
Oh,
and
yeah.
further. He was down at
horribly.
the very bottom of the roster for a while,
Oh yeah,
and he didn't deserve that. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff he can talk about. Being sort of a robot android kind of thing, and having his pod to scan everybody, and just being from a post-apocalyptic future in general, and sort of checking out humans and discovering his own sexuality for the first time. There's a lot of neat stuff he can talk about, and he's always been a good character addition and concept for the game.
Zeus really realized it, and I'm just super, super happy about it.
And I'm encouraged by what I hope becomes more of a trend where he wasn't afraid, or he didn't feel held back, or that he didn't feel obligated to keep all the old stuff. If something needed to be retooled or thrown out, he just did it. The whole no nipples and no cum thing, or treating everything as if it's a simulation.
Simulation. Well, now everything's a stimulation instead.
After all that, he needed to message half of the entire roster to tell him, "Oh, he actually comes now."
Yeah, he comes now. He's arrived. Oh, I see.
He comes now.
No, he comes.
Hey, just heads up, he comes now.
Okay. I think I have a bunch of lines I need to fix, but I have not.
Yeah, same here. I don't think I have fixed any of my MLP girls yet in regards to that. I need to do that.
That's okay. I think I changed my line. I think the default change I'm going to do. I'm sorry, Zeus. You deserve more effort than this. Is just to be wouldn't it be really wow? It's for some reason I was expecting you not to come. Huh? That's weird. Anyway, wow. Robots can cry. That means they can also come. Really good song, by the way, by Cobra Starship. One day robots will cry. It reminds me of 9S a lot. Anyway, on that note, any closing thoughts on 9S or anyone else that we discussed in this episode?
Yeah. Well, I want to say like thanks nmasp for taking the reins on this one and for your glorious return in episode 69 too. This is the end of episode 70, also known as episode 69 too.
16
I'm your
yen.
host spnanon, and thanks nmasp for taking the reins and for your glorious return. And Horsecat, thanks for coming on. We're going to have you right after the break for episode 71, where you can talk about your character, Arl, and a couple of other ones. We're gonna keep knocking them out. There, we got some testing roster additions plus some more art updates. But it should be good. Should be a little quicker. Does anyone have any final thoughts?
No.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. I love it.
Cool.
Yeah, glad to have you on.
Okay. Well, until next time, loyal listeners.
Mic drop.
Yo. All right. 10, 9, 8, cut here, and we'll take a little break and